War is heating back up as President Trump and Iran are back at it yet again. The Strait of Hormuz battle is just going back and forth like a ping pong, and it is affecting the overall markets, spiking oil, bringing tech stocks down, people de-risking, and also we're coming into a major CPI inflation report. I want you to prepare for this volatility over the next couple of days as we talked about it on our Stock Sermon Sunday. That is our weekly market analysis every Sunday at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want the pre-week analysis, jump onto there so you don't have to be shocked awed when you come into Monday. This is what we expected, and we're coming down into some key support areas where if something were to happen, and we always know something typically does, President Trump comes out, we have some type of good news. We have also the Fed Warsh will be speaking a couple of times this week. We already know that the new Fed is a little bit more hawkish, insinuating rate hikes coming into the end of the year. There's a lot to talk about. I want to try to keep it as brief as possible, give you some levels to prepare for tomorrow as the ATR or average true range of our indices is pretty wide. So you want to be on the right side of the trade and make sure you are positioning yourself properly. All right. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on it. My name is Dr. B. If you want to check out the links below to make sure to support the channel in any type of way you feel suit. Awesome. We'd love for you to have a spot inside of Leverage University where we're live trading and getting down to business and making money day in and day out. All right. So really quick, if you didn't get to the Stock Sermon Sunday last night, I want to just kind of show you the economic calendar that we have on the docket for tomorrow. Okay, you kind of see here the CPI report at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, an hour before the market opens up. So there will be some movement pre-market, either to the upside and or downside. We'll react accordingly and we'll read the report. If it's hotter than expected, we have higher inflation than we expected. This was previous month's data, so we shall see. It might already be priced in. We don't know, okay? As well as we have Kevin Warsh, our new Fed chair, speaking at 10 a.m. Eastern. So we have pre-market data, and then we also have a Fed that's coming in right when the market is getting active, about 30 minutes into the session, okay? So be mindful of that. Be prepared for that if you're trading anywhere around these times, especially if you're in futures, and also if you're trading options and or futures around that 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be mindful that he is stepping on the podium. It can be choppy. It can be very volatile. It might choose a direction based on what he is saying, okay? As well, I'll give another update after the CPI report tomorrow and the reaction. We also have the PPI report, and he's also going to be speaking as well at the same time on Wednesday. All right. So that is what I mean by prepare for volatility this week. All right. President Trump has formally notified U.S. Congress that the U.S. is at war with Iran. Details include the move gives President Trump 60 days to use the military without congressional approval. Trump said strikes that begin July 7th represent military action. Trump also said he will hit Iran hard amidst the tensions. Okay. So the Iran war seems to be back. Oil is spiking and nothing ever went away. All right. I think we're just delaying the inevitable. There was no deal that was said to be done. We're just propping up the market, and which is what we have talked about on this channel for a while, is that any pops, the charts are telling us that we're getting a little bit exhausted. Okay. So levels to watch for on the S&P 500 SPY ETF tomorrow. As you can see here, we prepared for this kind of lower high, and we're back underneath that 750. As you can see, we broke out of the range up here and then fell right back into the range. That is not necessarily what you want to see, but we could have something good news and pop right back above that 755. So you want to keep that 755 and then ultimately that 750 on watch. If we remain below that 752 and 750 area, that to me is a little bit more bearish in nature or a little bit more of a trap. So I'm going to mark my charts very similar to this, and this whole range right here, I'm very cautious of entering into any calls. I'm looking at higher. I think there's just too many sellers up here for right now that I would need to see a weak close, WEEK, a weekly close above these levels, because that downside is just so massive of a failure if we start getting aggressive to the downside. Okay. Levels below, let's look at the daily moving averages here and those stacks. Okay. Your support, as long as we're above that 744 and as long as we're above that 740 level, that is technically still very bullish. Okay. In the short term. So if we do come lower, it will probably come into these areas 740 or 744, and then we'll react accordingly there. The downturn happens pretty aggressively if we get below that 740. Okay, so that's where your concern would be. But any pullback into that area, you can trade short for puts into it, or you can wait a little bit more patiently into that zone to see if buyers step up and you want to trade calls back to the upside. All right. Qs, we know that the QQQ or the NASDAQ chart is significantly weaker than SPY. As you can see, we're already underneath the moving averages. We failed that lower high yet again because of what's going on in Iran. And we've got back underneath that 715, and the bottom end of the range is all the way back down into 700. So easy way to look at this, we break previous day low, 710. We'll come down into that 706, and then most likely back down to the lower end of the range, 700. There's really nothing underneath this daily 50. So as long as we're underneath previous day high, and I would even move that down there, that whole zone right there around that daily 50, okay, any pops into that zone, I'd be very cautious of looking for higher. Now, if we reclaim back above 720, something like this, a big squeeze back up here like that, then maybe I'll be a little bit more adamant about this gap getting filled. Maybe gets filled with CPI very quickly. Who knows? But there is a big gap fill there from the overnight session. All right. IWM, still love this chart. I still think 290 is in play. There's a gap fill down there. I think this is a beautiful looking trade here. Underneath 295, bearish. Above 296, a little bit more bullish. So underneath 295, close underneath it today. Look for that more downside break underneath 292. Look for this type of move on IWM ideally. Okay. So underneath 295, that is your bull bear pivot, as we like to say. Okay. SMH, semiconductors. Again, pretty much just looking like QQQ. We'll see what it does. It's coming into these lows here, but underneath the daily 50, that is more bearish in nature. We can see that the memory stocks are starting to do exactly what we thought it would do. It's pulling back a little bit further, in my opinion. I think back down to 50, maybe sub 50. If it catches a bid anywhere or buyers step in right around these mid 50s again, that's cool. But I still think underneath these daily moving averages, there's a daily 50, there's a daily 20, and it's underneath it. Okay. Apple. Okay. Apple is interesting. Like I said, for everyone, I think we mentioned it yesterday and I mentioned it this morning, our pre-market prep. Kind of fumbled the bag on this short. I think I just hesitated. It was a Monday. I was like, do I get aggressive short on a breakout? I mean, I traded long enough to know that this is most likely going to happen. That I could have, I did short it. I did not hold it long enough. I shorted Apple right here on this failure of that high there, and then that breakdown underneath that VWAP. Did I think it was going to pull all the way and give everything back? No, because I also tried a call on Apple right here at that 318. Right, tried it right here. Thought I was going to get a little bit of a bounce there and at least retrace back up to VWAP, something like this. That's what I was looking for, right? But it gave the whole move back, and now we're sitting underneath this 317 and some change. So can Apple get a bid again and go higher? We'll see. But that candle's not very convincing yet. Okay, very heavy top wick. Seller stepped in, profit taker stepped in, came back down. If we fail back underneath that 315, I mean, look what happened last time. We get aggressive back underneath there, coming all the way back down to 308, coming all the way back down to 300 like we were supposed to do. Okay, so look out for that trap on Apple. Google, bear flag here. We talked about that. I was just eyeing this all day, but it was chopping all day. And by the time I looked at it, it was gone. Okay. Up against the daily 20 moving average, which is right here at 358. You can kind of see it rolling over, could not, bam, lower, and then finally broke trend. Okay. So I think Google personally, like I've been saying before, underneath that moving average, if it can't get above that 360, lower back into that 340 range, and then we'll see what we can do from there. Okay. Just my 2 cents. I'm just reading price action, and with the market weak, it's really got to get some momentum going higher, even though it looks like it's bullish consolidation. I need to see something else personally right now. Microsoft got a little bit of strength today. Okay, so Microsoft, while everything was kind of selling, Microsoft above 395. Watch that. We can get some momentum upwards. So watch Microsoft. It looks like it's holding bull flag consolidation or just bullish consolidation right here, break above 395. Amazon, same thing. Try to get some momentum today, just couldn't get going with the market, but did not really go too far down. It was actually pushing up as the market was going down. So relative strength on Amazon, if it breaks above that 251 and holds above 250, actually, then we can get going. But like I said, with Google, we still got to be respectful of these resistances right here, right there, right there, and it's pushing right up into it. So if it fails aggressively, rolls over or come back down. But I said Amazon underneath 238 and then above 251. Tesla, just the range. I got nothing else to say. Range underneath 400. Tesla gets back above 400. We're going to 412. Underneath 400, breaks lows 390. We're going down to 380. Intel. Okay, Intel right here, we've got 103. Okay, it is coming lower. It's starting to break a little bit of trend. Breaks a new low underneath that 101, coming down sub 100 in my opinion. So Intel just, again, more profit taking from these stocks that have been running tremendously. So the big move on Intel would happen if it breaks underneath that 100 and underneath 98. We can get a bigger move into the mid 80s. Rocket Lab sitting in a really nice support. I would still highly pay attention to this. It could get a little trap underneath here and then start squeezing back up. Gets back above 80. We're rocketing back up. So watch out for that. Oracle said be patient on Oracle. Oracle is coming lower. It's breaking underneath those levels. I like Oracle closer to this 120 and then 122 level is our next level or zone. Okay. We got a gap fill down there, 120 and then 122. Okay. So Oracle traded down. We got some more room down on Oracle. That could be a nice little short potential if it stays underneath 135. It broke a new structured low here. Underneath 135, breaks a new low, lower down in the mid 120s. Okay. Don't have anything on Netflix until earnings. Like I said, I think it's coming lower. If it pops, I would look for a fade. I think Netflix needs to come mid 60s, but we'll see. All right. Cool. Hood just pulling back, consolidating. Can't get above that 120. That's our level. All right. That's all I got. And you're like, Brian, you didn't even cover NVIDIA. What the heck? NVIDIA. Okay. I was looking for a call on NVIDIA today, but the market was significantly weak because of the war, obviously, and everything's going on. So I was waiting for NVIDIA to pull back to this 206, 207, and then get a call option here. We did try a little bit of a call right here. Okay. It wasn't my best, like, looking for entry, which was right around here, that 209. Thought we can get a squeeze back and then breaks 211. Then we get 212. That was the trade I was looking for here to there. But we did get out right at the right time. Told the community if it could not get back above that 210, which it did, then we were probably going to fail and go lower. And then it became a beautiful, beautiful short on NVIDIA, which I absolutely missed. So all good. We'll watch NVIDIA at 200. That is our retest level here. We'll see if it can hold up 200. But I do think NVIDIA still wants that rotation back up. It just needs somewhat of a catalyst. So watch out for 200 and then that 201 level on NVIDIA for calls, or trade it down for calls. But your pivot point, 206, gets back above 206, go higher, below 206, come back down to 200. All right. There's our brief update for the Monday. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. Until next time, peace, love, and blessings. Make sure you check the links down below. I want to shout out the community really quick, if you don't mind. Okay, here's our wins for today. All right. There's my wins. Scalp QQQ puts 716, 717. These were 0-day expirations. Again, I need to be holding these a lot longer, but you can't complain about 60% on your money, 44% on your money. But if you saw where QQQ went, it went to 710. So these would have been definitely 300, 400% trades. Shout out to Sherry there. A lot of people chilled today. Sherry had some Tesla trades. A lot of people chilled and relaxed, as you can see on my summary here. Solid reel in the market, chilled and scalped, but just letting the dust settle before tomorrow. So in the community, we agreed today in live trading that if we could find a trade, great. But ultimately, tomorrow through Thursday are going to be our best trading days. All right. If you want to join us for the remainder of the week, we'd love to have you inside. The link's down below. Talk to y'all soon. See you first thing in the morning. Bye-bye.